Welcome again to the Southern Spotlight Show. How are you guys doing? We just really want to get straight into it, man. Like, this is my favorite time of the week. It is a preview into college football games, and you know what time it is, man. Tennessee, Florida, but we also do a game of the week. So we will cover Tennessee versus Arkansas, Florida versus UCF, and our game of the week, Texas A&M, Missouri. That's another day. I think we got an argument for that one because it could have been Tennessee and Arkansas. Personally, it could have been. But Arkansas lost to Texas A&M. It could have been. If Arkansas was okay, whatever. We're just gonna get into it, man. This is a big week of college football, man. A week that really determines a team's upside. For Tennessee's upside, it determines also for Texas A&M's upside. This is a very huge week for the later part of the season for each team, in a week that determines if a team also if a team will still have their coach by the end of the week. So this is a very important week. But guess what, guys? This is college football. Before we get into this, though, we're gonna talk about a player spotlight for the Florida Gators, and yours truly, Golden, will cover this one for y'all Florida Gator fans.
All right, y'all. So yeah, we got two player spotlights this week. We're gonna start with the Florida one, obviously, because Florida's first and everything. But anyway, we've got Sharif Denson. He is a defensive back, and I decided to go with a defensive player this week because we're going against a really good offense, and if we're gonna win this game, which we'll talk about later, then we're gonna need the defense to step up. So yeah, Sharif Denson is a 5'11", 170-pound corner. He's from Jacksonville, Florida, obviously, so he stayed true to the home state and went to Florida. I could not find when this dude was born, so he could be 50 years old for all I know. I could not find when this dude was born, but he went to Bantram Trail High School in Jacksonville. He had 40 offers, so he was being recruited pretty heavily. He was a 4-star. This season, he's only got 14 tackles. He does have a sack and a forced fumble, and then 2.5 tackles for loss. But he's really just started to shine this year because he was, on the bench last year. He's only a sophomore, and he just got his first career start versus Miami. Obviously, that didn't go too well, but he's also been out a couple games. But in the games that he's played in, I'll pull up his stat log. He's been really good in the games that he's played in. I think he could be an emerging star on this Gators team. This season, like I said, he's got 14 tackles. He's a good tackling corner, and that's one of his strengths. I put as tackling. He's very physical, and he's really good in man coverage. So there's not too much to say about him as he hasn't played too much. He's only in his second year, but he's obviously in the spotlight now for a reason, because I believe he's an upcoming emerging star on this Florida Gators team, and we're going to need him this week going against a really good offense.
Very interesting news, man. But after this, we must preview this Florida and UCF game. This is a huge matchup for Billy Napier, guys. This is a very huge, huge matchup for him. Honestly, this situation to me is win or go home. If I have to describe it, it's win or go home, y'all. But they are coming off a bye week, guys, and this is a way that you can show that he's improved in his coaching. How is the Gators going to respond after a bye week? But before the bye week, Graham Mertz did come off a great game versus Mississippi State. So I'm guessing we are going to expect Graham Mertz to start this game and probably play throughout the whole entire game. But Florida has a 1-2 record at home right now, which is not something that is what Florida teams really do. They win at home. They always win at home. As Tennessee fans, they win at home, guys. But Golden, how do you think this Florida team is going to respond after this bye week?
Oh man, yeah. So this is a tough one here. UCF obviously is a really good team. They came off a tough loss last week against Colorado, but Colorado is a good team also. These are pretty solid teams here. KJ Jefferson obviously is the transfer from Arkansas. He himself has 847 yards this year with 7 touchdowns. He does have 3 interceptions, and I believe he threw a couple in that Colorado game. Really wasn't the best game for him. But on the ground, he's got over 200 yards as well with 2 touchdowns. And that's really been their key on the ground because R.J. Harvey is one of the best running backs in college football right now. He already has 75 carries for 525 yards and 8 touchdowns. So he's a mini Ashton Jean T because no one's catching him. But yeah, R.J. Harvey's one of the better running backs, and I believe he was last year too. This guy's been putting up crazy numbers. And then Kobe Hudson, their wide receiver, with 15 catches, 349 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So yeah, their offense has been pretty amazing. But on the defensive side, they've given up 331.5 opponent yards a game, which is obviously not amazing at all. But going against Graham Mertz, we'll see what happens because Graham Mertz does have 487 yards this year, which is, pretty much cut in half of what KJ Jefferson has. Obviously, Graham Mertz hasn't played as much, but he has 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And then, we'll talk about Lagway. He has 617 yards with 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. But like you said, I highly doubt we're going to see Lagway unless it's a blowout or Mertz gets hurt or something bad happens. And then obviously we've got Montrell Johnson, who was in the spotlight last week with 48 carries, 234 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And then we do have an emerging star on offense at the wide receiver position in Elijah Badger. He's had 14 receptions, 305 yards, and a touchdown. But you know what? I'm not going to talk too much about this because I don't have us winning. I've got UCF winning this game. Yeah, to start the week, I was kind of skeptical. I was thinking, Florida might have this, but after seeing how Vegas thinks of this game, and honestly, myself, like this Florida team's just not as good as we have been, and one of the worst teams we've had in a while. And UCF's a good team. This is a good team to have to beat. Yeah, it's in the swamp at night, but no, I'm not gonna have us winning, dude. I can't see us winning this game. I really can't.
Florida fans, that's gotta hurt to hear, man. That's gotta hurt to hear. And the thing is, though, I'm gonna go right on the SEC train, man. Because guys, KJ Jefferson left the SEC for a reason. He left the SEC for a reason, guys. And here's the reason why, guys. I mean, completion percentage, 60.5%. That's not that great. Now, what is great is 49 carries, 211 yards, 2 TDs. That is great alongside his stat line. I'm not going to lie. And the running back, 75 carries, 525, 8 TDs. That is scary stuff right there. So Florida's going to have to stop the run game to win this game. But this game is at home. This is at the Swamp. They have to come up fired up. If it goes down to my statement from a couple weeks ago about how Tennessee players play for their coach and they came out routed for the Oklahoma game. If Florida players know how much this means to Billy Napier, because we all know this is win or go home situation, as I said, then they will come out and their defense will come out fired up and start getting stops. That's what they need, because I expect Florida's offense to score in this game, because Graham Mertz did look good a couple weeks ago. And personally, I mean, like you said, got a rising receiver and Elijah Badger. So I think this is going to be a close one. I do. But I'm going to take Florida. 38. I got Florida dropping 38 in this game.
I'd rather us win and I'd be wrong.
Exactly. Florida 38, UCF 27. I do believe UCF is going to score on this Florida team because Florida's defense has not looked good, y'all, at all this year. In opponent yards per game, 425 yards per game. Third down conversions, 46.55%. That is not good. That means anytime a team is on on third down, there is probably close to 50% chance they're going to get it. So Florida's defense needs to step up. And I expect them to step up this week. But guys, we're going to get into our next segment. And if Florida fans, if you guys are watching right now, Tennessee fans, if you're watching right now, also any SEC fan, like and subscribe right now and show us some love because we love college football and we're going to keep on doing this. But our next segment, guys, is Joshua Joseph's defensive line for Tennessee. If I gotta say it, SEC defensive lineman of the week during the week when we played Oklahoma. So he is stepping up his game. This is a player, guys, that really honestly was not playing that much a couple of years ago. He didn't have the shine that James Pierce was having. James Pierce and him came in the same class. And a quote from Joshua Joseph was that he was jealous of seeing the uprising of James Pierce. So with that being said, put in the work this year. He put in the work this offseason, and now look at him getting SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week, having 3 tackles for losses, and nine total tackles so far. But he's making plays in timely matters, and that's what matters, guys. In his career, 28 games played, 41 tackles, 4 sacks, 11 tackles for losses, and 2 forced fumbles. I mean, he's going to make plays. You can see the growth in him. He's just a junior, and but the thing about Joshua Joseph is, I mean, he was born in Kennesaw, Georgia, 6'3", 245, and he actually went to North Cobb High School. Do know where that high school is. But that is pretty cool. That's pretty cool to see the growth of Joshua Joseph. And I do believe that he's going to continue to improve in his game. I mean, strength-wise, you see the length, the quickness. His work ethic is showing right now. And if he just keeps on continuing to put in the work and honestly, just hey, stay jealous of James Pierce. Stay jealous of him because that is helping us on the defensive lineman, guys, and we're seeing the improvement, guys. But expectations for him, I think he will finish this year with at least 5 sacks to close out the season. I mean, he only has a total of 4 sacks. It's a bold statement to say, but the way he has been playing has shown me that he's going to also get a lot of opportunities because Tennessee will be in the playoffs. So that's another game to play to get that opportunity to get a sack. So that's why I'm going to put out the 5 sacks. And yes, I'm very excited to see the growth of Joshua Joseph.
I like how you said just one more game. Y'all not going to win 2 in the playoffs?
I said an opportunity to play an extra game. I never said we were going to win the game because I'm not going to say that yet. I got to watch Arkansas's game and obviously Florida and Alabama. But we'll be in the playoffs, y'all. So that's all that matters. But anyways, guys, I'm excited about this game, this Arkansas and Tennessee matchup, because we definitely have to get into this right now. We may witness one of the best rushing attacks, like the entire season. I think Tennessee and Arkansas have one of the best rushing attacks in the entire country. And I mean, people say that this is a trap game. I believe so. I think that Arkansas is no step over at all. I do believe Tennessee, coming off a bye week, is allowing themselves to heal up is very important for this game. And I think that is going to be a huge, huge deal because we got Arkansas, Florida, and Alabama for our next 3 games. That is not an easy stretch at all. And I know you guys are like, Arkansas, they're not that good. They're 3-2. Florida's terrible. They're about to lose their coach. Tennessee's not good on the road, and Tennessee does not beat Florida. But anyways, I'm feeling pretty good about my balls. But how are you feeling about Tennessee going into this game? Because I got a lot to say about this game. So how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, well, I do think it's a trap game for sure. It's a classic trap game. Arkansas is actually pretty underrated. I mean, they've kept some pretty close games against good teams this year. Obviously, they have the transfer quarterback and Taylon Green, who already has 1,200 yards. So he's been slinging the rock. Honestly, in terms of his stats, I want to compare him to Jameis Winston because he has the same amount of touchdowns as interceptions, and he just throws the crap out of the ball. But he also runs on the ground. He's got 72 carries. That's kind of ridiculous. He's got almost as many carries as the running back, and he's got over 330 yards. Yeah, you're going to have to take these guys serious because the running back, Jaquindon Jackson, has 79 carries for over 500 yards and 9 touchdowns. I mean, that's ridiculous. So, yeah, you're going to have to stop the run game this game. And let me tell you, if Arkansas can run the ball on y'all this game, I'm definitely going to have them winning. But what you looking at like that? It's a night game, bro. Honestly, anything could happen. I'll probably have Tennessee winning, though, but I'm not going to have Tennessee winning by more than 2 touchdowns for sure. I'm going to have Arkansas keeping this within like 10.
I want you to be careful now. I want you to be careful how you talk about my Vols, guys, because Tennessee's defense is only allowing 7 points per game in the total in 4 games, guys. In 4 games, a total of 397 rushing yards in 4 games. Third down conversions, 20%. 20%. We are locking you up. If we get you on third down, you're out of here. Go ahead and just get to the sideline because we're getting back on offense. That's how we are playing. We're playing SEC brand of football. This is the defense that you see that you're used to, accustomed to see out of Alabama and Georgia. Tennessee has flipped the script, and now we are the dogs right now, guys. We are the dogs because we're locking teams up. But now, Arkansas is a different ballgame. As Golden has mentioned, when you do have a quarterback that's rushed at least 72 times, that is absolutely insane. But I think that affects him in the passing game. I mean, you just mentioned it, 5 interceptions, and he's taking so many hits back and forth. Guys, it's just like in anything in general. If you're taking hits over and over again, it's going to eventually affect you. And he also is a quarterback that hasn't been able to read a defense as well. And Tennessee is really good at scheming when it comes to defense. So I do believe right now, my prediction, before I get a score, is that he throws at least 2 picks in this game. He's throwing 2 picks, or it's a pick. Actually, yeah, 2 picks. We're going to stick with that. He's throwing 2 picks in this game because he's just a pick thrower. But I do believe that he's going to play pretty well in this game. He's going to give us a problem on the run game. And Jaquindon Jackson is the leading rusher in the SEC. And it doesn't matter who he's playing at all. So Arkansas's defense, though, they're allowing 20.2 yards per game and passing yards 226. So I do believe that we're going to get an opportunity to fire a lot of deep balls on this Arkansas team. Every team that we have played so far loves to play far back, and just make us those short dink and dunk throws. I don't think that is what's going to happen this week. Oklahoma showed a little bit of playing up close up coverage, and they had the D line, but Tennessee has both their offensive tackles back this week.
I think Arkansas is better than Oklahoma.
You got Arkansas better than Oklahoma?
Oh, yeah.
No. Oklahoma has a way better defense. That's Oklahoma's way better defense.
Maybe defensive wise, but as a team, I'm taking Arkansas.
With what coach? Sam Pittman can't close the game, guys. You can't. Sam Pittman is one of the worst coaches I've seen. I mean, scheme wise, like their offensive coordinator, guys, great offensive coordinator, they can score the rock, but when it comes to late game situations, they just don't know how to close a game, and it's just it just kind of confuses me how that works, because they should have won the Oklahoma State game, and then the Texas A&M game they should have won. I mean, honestly, like, it's just, if we really got to be serious right now, Arkansas should be undefeated. They should be undefeated. And that's the only thing that has me worried about the Tennessee game, is because this is a team that should be undefeated, but they're not, because they don't know how to close the game. So what if they try to close this game? What if they close this game against us? But Tennessee can't put them in that situation. So I'm going to go ahead and take Tennessee 38. Another 38-point performance, guys. Another 38, because I don't think Tennessee gets to 40 on this team. We're on the road. But I got Arkansas scoring 21. And we are going to march on to next week playing Florida, undefeated, in Neyland. And we all know we waited for that one, guys. But guys, before we end this, we're going to get into our game of the week. And this is one that, honestly, it was not supposed to be game of the week at all. I did think Tennessee and Arkansas was supposed to be, but like I said, Arkansas lost to Texas A&M, and that puts Texas A&M Missouri as game of the week. Golden, I think this Texas A&M team could possibly be a dangerous team, but they're playing against Mizzou, a Mizzou team that struggled against Vanderbilt and Boston College. So how are you feeling about Texas A&M versus Mizzou? Give us what you think, man. We got the stats pulling up. Talk about this game, man.
First of all, I don't know how this isn't game day. Why is game day in California for Miami versus Cal? That makes no sense to me. But yeah, this is my personal game of the week. Obviously, we have it as game of the week. I just don't know about Texas A&M, how I feel really about them, because they kind of do the same thing every year. You know, like they're always in the rankings somehow, but then, you know, they lose to mid teams. They're just a mid team, really. They always are, and they always will be. I mean, if we look at their past results, they barely beat Arkansas, who I think is a pretty good team, but they barely beat Bowling Green. You know, they beat us, which it's not saying much. They lost to Notre Dame, who's obviously, you know, not as good as everyone thought they were. So, but I think that this new quarterback that came in has changed things over there. Marcel Reed, he's got 585 yards and 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. He also has carried the ball 42 times for 230 yards. So he's been a lot better than Connor Weigman. And then their running back, Le'Veon Moss, he's one of the better running backs in the SEC. He's got 76 carries for 471 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I think, Texas A&M offense definitely has improved as the year has gone on. And it's actually been quite the opposite in Missouri, because Missouri last year was a powerhouse. I mean, they had a great offense. I do like Brady Cook. He's one of the quickest quarterbacks. When that dude's on the ground, I mean, he can run. He's got almost 1,000 yards already with 4 touchdowns and an interception. So he's not playing terrible. They're just not scoring that much. And, they haven't been playing good teams either. Like you said, Boston College, I mean, they're decent, but barely beating them at home. And then, I mean, Vanderbilt's better this year, but Mizzou, you guys should be beating Vanderbilt by a couple touchdowns at least. Their other games didn't really matter that much. They were against really bad teams. And then Luther Burden, I'm expecting more from him. He's got 4 touchdowns already, but only 257 yards, and he's only got 19 catches. So they probably need to get him involved a little bit more. And then they have this new running back in Nate Noel, who's already got 69 carries for 441 yards and 2 touchdowns. So this is just a battle of the offenses here, I think. And I'm leaning towards Texas A&M. Obviously, earlier in this week, I was saying Missouri. I was. But, home field advantage and the way that their new quarterback's been playing, I'm starting to lean towards Texas A&M in this game. I don't think Missouri's as good a team as they were last year. Yeah, they have good players. They have a great player in Luther Burden, but he's not getting the ball as much, and I don't know what's going on with them this year. So, yeah, give me Texas A&M.
Key stat, though, for Missouri and Brady Cook and Luther Burden, all 4 TD passes from Brady Cook has been to Luther Burden. Hey, Brady, guys, if you want to win the game, feed the guy. Luther Burden is a monster. Feed him. And 4 TD passes just in the season, that definitely shows you're not scoring a lot of touchdowns. And we've seen it. We've seen it. Just 30 points on Vanderbilt and 27 points on Boston College. I just don't get it. And it's just been close games that shouldn't be close as an SEC team. But you know what? Diego Pavia could probably be the best quarterback in the SEC. So I may just be talking. But
he's good, man.
Anyways, I'm trolling. But Missouri's defense, guys, has been pretty good this year. 12 points per game. Rush yards, 91.8 for rush yards. I mean, that's not bad. That's pretty good. And they're getting off the field. I'm definitely concerned about Missouri's incapable ability to score many touchdowns. And now we're not going to come out here and say Texas A&M is scoring a lot of touchdowns, but Missouri is on the road and they have a quarterback who is playing with a lot of confidence right now. The only thing Marcel Reed needs to improve right now is his completion percentage, 54.4%. That's not going to cut it, but you're at home and there's going to be a lot of bailout happening. There's going to be a lot of bailout happening because you have the fans on your side, and that's why I'm taking Texas A&M to win this game. I got Texas A&M in a low-scoring win game, 21, Missouri, 15. Missouri only cracks 15 points in this game because they can't score. But, maybe it was just Diego's fault, y'all.
You got all field goals?
Nope. They're going to score a touchdown, and they're going to go for 2 in a situation. It's going to be 21-15. I got 3 touchdowns out of Texas A&M. And, hey, look, man, them Aggies are on a roll. They've never shown that they can just go 5-1 or they can go 5-0 in a situation because they're 4-1 right now. This is their chance to finally break it and get 5-0. It was all Jimbo's fault, y'all. It was Jimbo Fisher's fault. He was a terrible coach. This is a new era, man. Marcel Reed's the new quarterback. We're not leaning on Connor Weigman anymore. We got a new program. Le'Veon Moss is a stud. So just trust in the system. You got the fans on your side. I got Texas A&M, man. But guys, hey, Tennessee fans, Florida fans, Texas A&M fans, Missouri fans, give us all your predictions on how you feel of the outcome of your team and let us know because we want to know in the comment section and we want to interact because personally, we don't like dry comment sections. We like to talk. I'm going to talk. So give us your prediction and go Vols because, number 1 team in the league. I'm just kidding. But go Vols, and hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we guys will see you on the next one.
Peace.